Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Freshwater Scrubs. And in today's episode, I have a good news and a bad news. So, which one do you want to hear first? I'm just gonna tell you guys about the good news first. Okay, so the good news is that we've reached 20 subscribers, actually 21. I didn't even know when we did it because I haven't been keeping track on my channel recently, as I haven't been uploading this frequently because I was kind of lazy. And I probably won't be uploading as frequently because, well, it's September and school's starting, so I'll have other schoolwork to work on. Bad news is that, well, two of my fish, at least currently only two, have been diagnosed by myself with a fish disease called fish tuberculosis. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm not sure. But it's a pretty bad disease that is very serious. This is caused by a type of bacterial infection, and it's really tricky, and it's actually quite common in the fish keeping hobby. It is quite tricky as it's internal disease, so it usually does not respond to external treatment. So, such as these common antibiotics and other fish medication that you dose into the water, yeah, that ain't gonna do much to this disease, as it's inside the fish's body. So you will have to mix the antibiotics into the fish's food and feed them that, so to have any hopes of curing them. Now, currently the only cure I can find is dosing the tank with kanamycin sulfate, which is really expensive, by the way, and some vitamin B, which you can just get in supermarkets. I like baby food and stuff. But the main problem now is the kanamycin sulfate, as it is, well, quite unfortunately, I live in Canada, and since 2017, Canada had issued a quite strict ban fish medication, and, well, that's going to be a bit tricky, as I couldn't find any medication for fish, and instead, I have to scour the internet to find kanamycin for sale on other websites, which I did on one website, and it's quite expensive. It's 25 grams, so I need to dose them for about a month for it to effectively work, and it's about 1 gram per day, and 25 grams is the only one I found, and it should be good for about a month, which hopefully will cure my fish. Now, I have two options of obtaining kanamycin sulfate, and one is to, well, go to the vet and have them maybe get me the prescription kanamycin, but going to the vet here is extremely expensive, but luckily I managed to find one online that does not require the vet to get to, so, well, that's lucky, and hopefully it will work. Now, when your fish is sick, it is, well, usually and almost always a good idea to quarantine them in a separate tub. For example, right here, this is where I have been keeping the two of my zebra dinos that have been diagnosed with tuberculosis. I'm not sure you can see it very clearly, but they are in here. They usually like to hide under the filter because, well, firstly, fish diagnosed with tuberculosis usually have hiding behavior, so I guess that's why they have been hiding so much. But other than that, they have been eating well, and I hope with the medication they will hopefully recover. This is a very simple quarantine setup. As you can see, I just have this tiny filter. This filter left over from, well, a tank a while ago. It's actually from the kit that came with my 10-gallon aquarium kit, but right now I have changed it out for the two top fin filters, which is probably more efficient than this, and it doesn't take up as much space inside the tank. I also have this small heater that I had left over from my first tank, which is really small, by the way. And it's been doing a pretty good job keeping the tank toasty. I actually don't need to keep it on all the time, as it is summer currently, but in sometimes it gets cold, like at nighttime. I'll just turn it on. Even though it doesn't have a temperature switch, I just tested it before, and it will keep this tub of water at about 30 degrees Celsius, which is okay for the fish, and it's actually better to keep a higher temperature for sick fish, as it, I guess, make their cardiac activity faster, and that will maybe boost your immune system. I'm not quite sure, but it's always a good idea to keep your tank temperature at a higher temperature if your fish is sick. Now, this is just going to be the end of today's episode. It's quite a short episode. I just want to update you guys on how my fish is doing. And, well, I hope that, well, they will recover in. Yeah, also, this tank, it's quite dirty. I really need to clean it. And all the moss, they all turned brown. I searched it up. Why? It seems like they either have been not infected, but the bacteria that's growing on the driftwood might have grown on them. That's why they look fuzzy. But also it could be something about the water parameters, which haven't discovered anything wrong with the water parameters in this tank. But, well, I will keep an eye on that. And also the Rotala. Well, the majority of them are doing okay, but there's a few that died, unfortunately. But, well, for the whole part, this tank is doing okay, and I'm just gonna end today's episode here, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.